yeah, I know people when he does release are gonna be complaining, not for the fact that Tifa should have been in here. By the way, while we're on that subject, I've played both remake and rebirth. I've seen how Tifa plays. How many Tekken characters can do practically the same thing that she can?
Yeah, I can vouch for this. I may not have Rebirth, but I do have Remake. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Autumn Colors Podcast, the podcast where we stand and die on the hill of game developers need to be treated with the respect they fucking deserve by these goddamn AAA publishers. I'm your host, I was improvising the introduction to the podcast yet again. It felt like ages since I had done something like this again. However, the improvisation would not come without its fair share of challenges, such as what would have been a decent reference to make. The information of that night at this moment had flooded my mind, drove me to insanity, much like that one girl from Code Geass. It was at this moment that I realized that I may have been going on for far too long. However, the guest would be pleased to know that while this intro had taken 30 seconds, realistically about no more than 5 seconds have passed. The Sozo-sha.
Okay, he was doing a bit okay.
Today I'm joined with one of the two Muppets, Arashi.
It's good to be here. Way better than and something. I was doing a thing. I need somebody to lead me in.
And lastly, I am also joined tonight with the woman who brought her meth dealer into the call, Scion.
Hello! God, I love the icon lore, barely. Anyways, hi.
Anyone unaware of the reference I was doing, the particular moment of the Game Awards of the two just standing on stage, saying absolutely nothing. Having an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. So the award for tonight is... But yeah, today we are going to be talking about the Game Awards 2024, which has been celebrating its 10-year anniversary of its being going on. And with that, there is a slew of different announcements alongside the awards that we are going to get through. But first and foremost, how both y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I am still, recovering my voice a bit from screaming at the Game Awards.
I kind of figured you would. I woke up the morning after and was like, dear God, my voice sounds like shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. It's just I'm alive, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I did find out, and this is, there is one thing we're not going to be talking about tonight, and that is a game in particular by the name of Catly. Reason for that being is due to AI allegations and whatnot, so we're not going to be focusing on that.
I'm gonna be real, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah,
yes,
it was a cat game, or quote unquote a cat game, and then I was just like, oh man, cats look so cool, I'm gonna look into it, and then there's just talk about it being an AI generation and whatnot. It's just like, it's very little information about the people making it and whatnot. It's just, it's basically all but confirmed. So I'm just like, yeah, regarding that now, we're not going to talk about it. But anyway,
Alrighty.
I also got a vibe with the fact that I don't blame you of forgetting, because there was so much stuff that came out on the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit.
Also, Destro, Smug, and Obsidian were going to be here, but for various reasons, they either cannot make it or chose to sort of bow out for this one. I did get recommended to talk about a certain game, that of which I have already put on the list, and we would have been talking about anyway, but either way. So, yeah, we are going to talk about what happened at the Game Awards, and I was telling these two earlier, but yeah, I have a full, almost 2-page list worth of topics to talk about, And so, much like with what happened with 2022 and 2023, we're going to be blasting through a lot of these. If there is nothing that pops out to either one of us, we will just move on.
Alright.
So,
Alright.
first up is the first announcement of the night, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Gonna be honest, it's very interesting to say the least that we're getting a new Ninja Gaiden.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've got nothing but high hopes for it. Given, well, for one, Koei Tecmo is at the helm for this one. So, and apparently, Dynasty Warriors Origins, the demo itself is doing good. So, maybe they finally got their stride back in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine, like, I haven't heard, I couldn't say necessarily whether or not Koei Tecmo was doing too good in the current day. Like, the last biggest thing I heard from them was, well, for one, they were doing, like, the Persona 5 collab, but other than that, they were making this game that looked really cool called, like, Wild Animals or something, but it got mixed reviews and it sort of faded.
Yeah, apparently it was so mad that I didn't even know about it until you brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have I don't know. Maybe I just have it's weird how my mind works like that. Like sometimes I will just remember shit like that. Other times it's just like, oh, wait, where the fuck did I put my phone? Oh wait, I've been having it in my hand this entire time.
It's like, oh my god, where did I put it on the bed? No, I have it in my pocket. No, it's not in my pocket. No, wait, I put it in the drawer. Oh god, I don't remember.
That is literally a mood for me.
Yeah. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden, personally, not too big of a fan of it. It's not for lack of trying. I've had Ninja Gaiden on PS3 before, so I have tried it. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where it's just like I would have to have found other people who enjoy it to actually get into it, because it's just like I felt like I was the only one who really liked it, and I just sort of moved on after that.
I mean, I can vibe with Ninja Gaiden. I have them on my PS5, like 1, 2, and Sigma.
Yeah. I forget which game it was, but there was a trailer that like stoked the hell out of me as a kid. It around the same time, my brother showed me this. It was around the same time when The Last of Us was first announced, and it was just a trailer of Ryu looking dead in the eyes at an enemy and just impaling them. It was just it was I don't know, it was short, but it was so effective. I was just like, yo, this game looks so cool.
It's like, I want that.
I don't remember which one that was. It might have been Sigma, but either way. Other than that, there is one move away, aka Tetris, but you're moving.
Yeah. This reminds me so much of just like me moving a lot. But since I moved last year, I don't need to move again in video game.
Yeah, that's it's the same with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if people like it, cool. It doesn't really speak to me.
We mentioned this, or at least Destro mentioned this during the announcement, where it was just like, hey, it's like that one Simpsons episode. Yeah, to anyone aware, like Simpsons did this joke where they were like, yeah, let's get all this shit in and with our family, and then they were just playing Tetris with the car, and it was like, I mean, I don't know, it's just like, it feels very much like one of those, it feels like a mandatory fun game, if that makes any sense.
Yep, that sounds about right.
To anyone who has helicopter parents, you probably know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah.
God, thank God our parents are normal.
Yeah.
Thank God I had a dysfunctional, abusive household. Anyway, Slay the Spire 2.
Can't believe I made that joke.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be true. I'm turning it into Saiyan, oh god.
Become me, Arashi.
Oh god, I'm turning Australian by the minute.
We have become one.
But yeah, the art. Okay, but no, I know the Slay the Spire fans are having the collective time of their lives right now. But honestly, though, I didn't even. It's basically. You'd think with us the original Slay the Spire, there'd be a bit more a wind up enough, actually keeping that on the back burner until it's time to show something. All right, well played. Go on, pop off.
Yeah.
I don't really have feelings about the Slay the Spire one way or the other, mainly because this is kind of the first I've ever really heard about the series. I've heard it in passing before, but it's just like it's never really showed up on my radar. So I have no real feelings one way or the other about it. But I mean, if it has a steady fan base and it's a good game, I imagine it will probably be an enjoyable time that I might put on my to playlist and then get to, let's say, 17 years later.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
God, look at my backlog. It's around the same thing.
Speaking of games that I'm just not really interested in, not because I hate it or anything, Dave the Diver is coming out with a new sequel expansion. It's called The Jungle.
Yeah.
It looks like an expansion type deal.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Dave the Diver is one of those games that just continuously, no matter what, pops right back up, especially when it comes to the Game Awards. Just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up. And, like, I'm sure the people who like it love it. I'm sure it's a fantastic game. I personally don't really have that much interest. Unless I get paid for it. In which case, yes, then I will have interest.
Honestly, it's just one of those games where, because I was having a rough day. I figured, why not? And I just finished the summer event of Nikkei around the time, which did Dave the Diver collab as a mini game type deal. So I figured, why not? I'm having a rough day. It's like a game that soothes the soul in a way, where it's just you're getting fish for sushi, and you just felt all the troubles melt away, that type of deal.
So it's a Spirit Fair like.
Yeah, kind of.
Other than that, there is this other game, Thick as Thieves, or what I like to call it is as Capture the Flag, but with thieves.
Yeah, not interested.
Yeah, me neither.
No offense, but it feels like worse Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
In my mind, because it's like, it feels very much like it's intended to try and be a hero shooter, while also trying to be sort of like I said, Capture the Flag, but also it also intended to be where it's just like, I don't know, it feels not really like my cup of tea. It feels more in line with, I think, probably content creators like AlphaRad who would get his friends together to play a round or two for video. That's kind of the game it feels like, as opposed to being a game where it's just like, oh man, I would willingly get my friends in on this.
Yeah, it feels like one of those one and done games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It feels too reminiscent of another hero shooter to me, is the thing. It feels like the way that the trailer showcased, it was just like, I was just like, is this another Overwatch like? It was just...
We have Marvel Rivals for that.
We have Marvel Rivals for that. And we would have had one other game, except they fucked it up. But anyway. Moving on to that. Shadow Labyrinth, aka Pac-Man's Secret Level.
This I'm very interested in, because I've actually watched the episode. I'm very interested. I never played a Metroidvania before, but this will be the first Metroidvania I ever play.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Neat. I mean, it looks promising. I admit I never saw the secret level episode, but it it caught my attention at the very least, so I'm more than willing to give it a shot.
I have had a fair history with Metroidvanias in one of ways. Like, I've played Ori, I have played I believe it's called Hunter X. I have played Castlevania. Yeah, I've played a fair deal of, at least a fair deal in my eyes of Metroidvanias over the years, and I mean, it looks interesting. It's not an immediate buy on my end, but it's just like, I mean, Pac-Man's back and you're kicking ass and everything. I mean, it's like it's kind of hard to hate something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
But
that,
yeah, see where it goes.
yeah, let's see
Yeah.
where it goes. Yeah. Other than that, be surprised if any of us remember what this was. Steel Paws, the Bamco Netflix game.
See, you lost me at Netflix game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get into this a little later because there is another thing tied to that, but I'm just gonna say I don't care what their catalog is. I have no intention to subscribe to Netflix for video games. Like doing that, it's just worse Game Pass. At least with Game Pass, it is tied to a console that I can physically own. But this is just, it's like, again, you don't go to Netflix in my eyes for video games. You go to Netflix to get hotboxed and then scroll through the entire feed finding nothing to absolutely watch for an hour. If
Basically.
Or, you basically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just any game that appears on Netflix game to me, I feel is just sort of dead in the water. But I guess they must be doing something because it keeps popping up. I don't know. Maybe there is an audience for it. I imagine little kids, which is a little weird considering what else I put on this list, but I just don't see this actually taking off on the same level of like other indie games. Like not even AAA games, other indie games. Like other indie games available for early access like right now on stuff like Steam. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really gonna. I don't think we're gonna hear too much after all that, honestly, from it. I would be surprised if that was the case, but I doubt it. In other news for that, we have Tales of the Shire, which is a Lord of the Rings inspired game, I believe.
Yeah, that
Yes.
game looks like if Animal Crossing meets Lord of the Rings. I'm just saying.
I 100% agree. Yeah.
I was waiting for the Nazgul to just bust down the door and start stabbing people. I was waiting for some kind of twist, but no.
It's just farm life.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely is appealing to a particular audience. Anybody who is more into the Animal Crossing-esque kind of games, and also into Lord of the Rings. I imagine that probably is your cup of tea. But in the same vein of that, I feel like this is to Lord of the Rings and Animal Crossing fans, as is. I can't believe I'm coming back to this, but Persona 4 Arena is to Persona fans and fighting game fans, where it's like you're trying to go for a specific niche of fans where that interest just, like, the stars align for you to enjoy that. And I imagine, yeah, there will be an audience for this, but when you consider, like, Lord of the Rings and Animal Crossing-esque games, it's just like one market or the other you're gonna do better in. Like, I don't know, I feel like, if anything, Lord of the Ring fans are starving for new games, if anything, because what was the last game that they had? Golem.
Shadow of War. Ugh. See, you brought it back. I was gonna say Shadow of War, to be nice.
Yeah, like I know, like Shadow of War, but let's be real. Like the biggest game around Lord of the Rings to take off was Gollum.
Yeah.
And we all know how that
burned everything
turned out.
down.
We all
In the
know.
words of the Google, I burned everything down.
Sir, I'm not exactly sure if there's much popular demand to play as an anorexic crackhead.
Oh, well, yeah, sure there is, totally.
But anyway, other than that, Stallcraft X Operations, which is basically like, if I were to describe it, the characters look like Fall Guys meet Amogus.
Basically.
Yeah.
Didn't we do a death battle on this already?
Yeah.
So anyway, back to good shit. Anyway. I don't know. This is a problem with some of these games where it's just like, I mean, they feel at this point, and how I see it, somewhat gimmick-based, where it's just like, insert blank here, insert sort of genre here, except, like, visually we have this different approach to it on some level. Like, I'm pretty sure, didn't, Death Note come out with its own game, and it was basically just an Among Us copy?
Yeah, except it's completely different.
And actually looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's fun. This, I feel, I don't really, there's not enough to go off of to make me go, you know what, I want to buy it, or you know what, I'm interested in checking it out. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is a big problem with some of these early trailers, where it's just like, the way they handle it, the way it's sold, it's not really striking to someone like me. I don't know. Maybe this will be good. Maybe this will be maybe this will be, I don't know, in the same vein of Helldivers 2. Maybe. Where it's just like, I look at Helldivers 2 and I thought, and initially I did think, yeah, this game doesn't really look all that interesting. 2024, it's one of the best, like, it's one of the best games to come out to, even, I would say, even rival Warhammer 40k in a lot of ways. But the only drawback was the fucking publisher that they signed on to. God, fuck Sony.
Yeah.
Fuck Sony.
I swear, every loss that Sony takes, I just go, God.
Yeah.
Good! Be scared! Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see how that goes. Speaking of Midnight Murder Club, aka the game that looks most like BioShock to me.
I'm gonna be honest. This is like if BioShock meets Among Us. Let me just say.
Yeah, or, if you want to just be honest and say it, BioShock meets Clue.
Yes!
That's honestly more along the lines. I was going to say BioShock meets something like Mafia or something like that, but, BioShock meets Clue. I think that hits it a little more closer to the mark. Yeah. I don't know. The tough thing with a lot of these games now is just like, it's kind of hard for me because it's like I'm skeptical now, because one of the games I was really interested and excited for was Judas, which looked almost like it was going to be the next BioShock, and it just is kind of faded with time. Yeah, that reaction, I think, is just adding to the whole point of, yeah, it faded with time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's best.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I definitely would love to try Judas out in the same way I would love to try Midnight Murder Club out, at the very least, to see how it is and see how it plays. But for right now, I feel, I guess, points for a visual impression, I don't necessarily know about gameplay. Maybe it'll be good. I mean, I like Bioshock's gameplay, so there is that. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. Who knows? We'll have to see.
I feel like that's going to be a majority of most of these new games.
Yeah.
A majority, yeah. Speaking of which, Kiora, aka the game made by Core Keeper devs.
This reminds me so much so of like Terraria. Let me be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that same vibe.
Yeah.
I even made the joke, hey, you want to play Terraria, but as a downward auto-scroller?
I immediately, because of the style of game, correlated it to Maple Story. But at the same time, this is not made by Nexon, so we're good.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we are going to have to, but later.
Yeah.
And anyway, I don't know. This feels like one of the games I think that will have, like it'll have some staying power. I call it a hunch, but I feel like this is gonna take off on the same like kind of level in terms of popularity as something like Stardew Valley or, like you said, Terraria. I feel like this is definitely going to hit the right places for some people. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. If Core Keeper, if the people who make Core Keeper are on this, I mean, this I do think this has an opportunity to be something. We probably could, and when it comes out, we might end up seeing this as a nomination on the Game Awards.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Other than that, Rematch, which is third-person FIFA made by the Sifu devs.
Look,
Go to me.
look,
Go to me. Oh, sorry. You go first, Arashi.
I say, all right, look. The fact that that's the devs from Sifu are branching out into other genres, I'm happy for. Good on them. But unless I can break the goalie's neck and then shoot the goal, don't talk to me. Turns out it's soccer with Sifu mechanics. That's how you hook people.
Now that's a surprise attack.
Yes.
But anyway, you were saying, Sion?
I'm gonna be honest. It looks really pretty, but I'm not interested in sports games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, unless Wing Chun is involved, don't talk to me.
Yes.
I will say this as somebody who has been on that side of the genre, as well as have a particular game I genuinely like in the genre as well. It looks like a more slower and honestly kind of more boring Rocket League.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Rocket League already doesn't interest me all that much. The thing that got me back into that game was they had a lo-fi collab, but that was kind of it. Like the game, here's the thing. It's just like, and I think y'all could absolutely, you're gonna vouch for this, but nobody I really know gives a fuck about fucking Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much like it is one of those games. I think Rocket League was definitely one of those games where it's just like if you have a set of friends, time to kill, and there's interest, sure. But otherwise, I mean, there's better party games. And I feel like that's gonna be the vibe here, where it's just like, this is gonna... If anything, this is gonna get people who like FIFA to get onto it. That's all that's gonna do.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see the plan here. Get the FIFA fans to come in and see what's up, and then check to see what other games they made, and then boom, they find Shifu, and then just... It begins again.
I am calm.
It begins again.
What sorcery is this? Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, Celesta 2.
I gotta be honest, I didn't remember this one.
Yeah, there was a 1. That's my answer to that.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Other than that, I think we can get to something I think all of us know at least something of. The Witcher 4.
Holy
Yep.
shit. That
Oh,
just
Go ahead, Simon.
I'm just going to say, good on DC Projekt Red for releasing a Witcher 4. It looks very realistic.
Okay. All right. As someone who was introduced to the Witcher series thanks to Smug, all I can say is just give them time to work on this one. I'm not gonna say The Witcher 3 wasn't perfect. Hell, it had its bugs on start, but just don't do another Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and before I follow up to that, I have to say, in before Kingdom Hearts 4. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. We have someone. Yes, we do. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, you can just hear it.
But, real talk. Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is don't let the past repeat itself, especially considering how much attention there was on this specifically. Give CD Projekt Red the fucking time they need. It doesn't matter if I don't care if it gets delayed. I don't care if there are constant setbacks and this game gets pushed for insert year here. Let the devs work. Give them the fucking time they need to bring Witcher 4 at least on launch day to a state that is playable and a state that is functional. Because that is a big problem still to this day, is regarding like crunch culture and everything, is that both developers and people online just don't want to give, or not developers, sorry, executives and people online just don't want to give the developers the fucking time they actually need to work on this. To quote one of my favorite series, the game's already been delayed twice, they said. It's a big open world, no one's gonna notice a few glitches! Fucking Bethesda. But yeah, But yeah, especially considering how much attention there was regarding the video game industry and better treatment of game devs, like what happened with the one particular person, which we'll get to later on and near the end of the series, or near the end of the show. But definitely, I feel like giving the devs, giving CD Projekt Red time to fucking cook, I think is not the best, and not the most preferred idea. I think is the most necessary idea.
Right. It's like, because, yeah, we all know I know I'm bringing it up again, but we all know the Cyberpunk situation.
Oh, yeah.
And now I can safely say Cyberpunk 2077 has officially been released.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I will say this, though. It's not that I don't have any interest in Witcher 4. I just never really got into the Witcher series. Mainly because I don't really have I've never really had machines that could be able to take it, and I haven't had the money geared towards those games.
Fair, at least now you have 1 out of 2.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Well, it's funny you say that, because speaking of not having the machine to run it, Elden Ring Night Rain.
This is what I was talking about. Miyazaki won't care if he doesn't win Game of the Year again. He's just busy doing other shit like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't care how much time goes on. I don't really prefer to play Elden Ring, but I know a bunch of people do. And apparently, from what I've heard, this is apparently a spin-off game and not an expansion.
Right.
Yeah.
From what it looks like, it feels like I want to say roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, in a way, that is also acting as a celebration for all things FromSoft, because we see enemies from the Dark Souls series at times, and characters from Bloodborne. So
Mhm.
at least
Mm.
that's what it feels like.
Mm.
But yeah, I know I'm excited. I know Smug's excited. I know FromSoft fans are excited. So
Yeah, I 100% imagine.
Mm.
I just know.
I'm just not in. Oh,
no,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right. I'm just not interested in Elden Ring. I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
I'm not
No,
really into
it's not
Souls
for everybody.
games.
I just want to know what
That's right.
I just want to know what R34 looks like.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Let's be
Okay,
real.
let me just show you this link here
soon
for
as-
Randy the Witch.
Yeah, as soon as Elden Ring came out, Rainy the Witch, Melina, both of these characters, tons of Rule 34.
I
Yep.
think they're still operated.
Oh, man. But yeah, I imagine if it is as good as Elden Ring was for many people, it'll probably still succeed today.
Probably.
And I also imagine that, yeah, most likely that there are going to be people who bitch about the difficulty and so on and so forth. Yada, yada, yada. Rinse and repeat. Moving on.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah blah blah.
Indiana Jones is either does now or is getting a game.
Well, it's already
It
out,
does
so
Yeah. So it does have a game, and that got announced at the
Yep.
Game Awards.
And big shock, the people that were complaining about harming the Nazis. So it was the usual suspect.
So yeah, now I don't know about killing Nazis and everything. Some of my best friends are neo-Nazis. Then again, this is one of them classic types, so Miss Scoozy. And you
Who are you?
Judd Forrest of the South Carolina Baptist Confederate Congregation. I got me some 800 bull boys from the Knights of the Hanging Noose.
Wow.
Hey, I noticed that you got some crosses to burn. If you run out, don't worry, because Jim brought more in his truck. Jim, how many more you got in that truck? About a few.
This is gonna be
Why
a
the
long-
hell did this sound like Burpstick from Death?
That's just a southern fucking that's just a Southern American accent at that point.
Yeah. It sounded like Burpstick from Death Battle.
It's pretty much the accent, dude.
No,
Yeah.
I can't. As a Southerner, I can confirm. I've heard the Elks accent God knows how many times with family.
Yeah. It is the full-on, like, Larry the Cable Guy kind of accent.
Yeah.
You're done.
Wait, so we're back to the Game Awards.
Back to the Game Awards. Path of Exile 2.
I played a little bit of it. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't think I'll probably play some more of it later. I just had to make room on my Steam Deck for another thing we'll talk about here later.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
Yeah. Again, one of those series I've heard in passing, never really had the time or, like, interest to really get into it. If it's a good game, maybe.
Yeah, same.
It's like, did you like Diablo when Blizzard still had its soul? Then you'll like Path of Exile. Is
Is
the
it,
thing.
okay, let me do a quick search. Quick question, who is it actually, like, developed by?
Alright, hang on.
Yeah, because I was about to...
Grinding Gear Games.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is it in the same, fuck, what is it? Is it in the same sort of state where it's like with Kojima, where a bunch of people who worked on Diablo that left went off to make their own studio?
Give me 1 second.
Let's see, Grinding Gear Games. Oh. Oh, wow. I just looked up their history. They came out with Path of Exile back in 2013, and 11 years later they come out with the sequel. Wow, they have been riding on that for 11 years?
Damn.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I will give it a try. I mean,
Honestly,
like,
I'm convinced.
there's not that many game studios I know that releases very little actual game titles and then just rides on that success for years to come.
Yeah.
I will admit there are some things about the game, about the mechanics themselves, that require a goddamn encyclopedia at times. But yeah, it's good fun.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll take a look. I'll put it on my radar at least. Other than that, The Outer Worlds 2.
Still love that fucking announcement.
Yes.
Really kept riding that too.
And the guys that made Fallout 3 Part 2.
Part 2. I fucking love that trailer, man.
It's it's good that Obsidian knows how to have fun.
Yeah.
I think it looks interesting. I do. It definitely has piqued my interest. I've never heard really too much about the Outer Worlds, so I will have to look into it. But it looks. I definitely feel like it feels something I could at least give a try.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a try too. Unless I get the console I need.
Yeah, I haven't played the first game. I've heard good things about it. But yeah, it does look like a fun time.
Yeah. Moving on to more on this list, Split Fiction, which is made by the It Takes Two director.
I'm interested. I'm very much interested. Gonna be on.
Okay. I can't act like this game doesn't look beautiful or this game doesn't look fun. Here's the two things I have an issue with. And the first off, this is being published by EA. That I don't want to do another run of, hey, you need to log in with your EA specific account to be able to play this game. Next to that,
yeah, we're not doing that.
In the same vein of It Takes Two, the one thing I do not like regarding video games is mandatory co-op. Now, don't get me wrong. I love playing games with my friends. I love tying my friends down to chairs and strapping the controllers to their hands so that we can actually be able to play at least one round of Battle Block Theater with my friends. I like doing...
You'll never take me alive, damn it!
I like playing games with my friends. And the thing about it is, it's just like, I like having it be optional. Games where I have to actually have somebody on board to be able to play it is where I feel the fun kind of is taken aback. Like, okay, for example, right, cut back to what I was talking about with Battle Block Theater, right? That game is perfectly fine single player, but co-op? You play it on co-op, the maps are altered to be more encouraging towards co-op ability. Like, you have elevated parts of puzzles and whatnot in maps where you have to use your other partner to help out and everything. There's moments like that at a time with the game. So, yeah, like, the fact that they went the extra route to make the game more of a different experience for co-op, that I'm fine with. But that said, it's still perfectly fine as a single-player game. When it came to It Takes Two, and I 100% will say this with Split Fiction, having a game that's just a mandatory co-op, what that is saying essentially is, for someone like me, if I want to be able to finish this game, I'm gonna need one of you motherfuckers to be on my schedule. And that is something that I do not like. I like cooperating with other people's time and schedule so that we can be able to sync up and be able to coordinate something together where we play a game together. Instead of it being, hey, I need to be on your schedule, or you need to be on my schedule, regardless. That's what I fucking hate. And I feel like with It Takes Two, with Swift Fiction, that is the case. Now, I know there are plenty of people, like VTubers, that have played games like It Takes Two and have enjoyed it. Kudos, but the thing about them is, they do that shit for a living, and they're usually under the same kind of management and the same kind of label, so they can write that off as a business expense and make that their whole schedule. I'm not on any label. I am not being paid for this or anything, and my friends have got their own fucking lives to live. We don't have neither the time nor the energy to go, alright, we will keep this consistent schedule on every day, regardless, or even this one day for the entire day, to just play this particular game and go through it as much as possible. We don't have that time, we don't have that energy, and we certainly don't have that money. That's my thought on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's basically said everything that I wanted to say, but could not say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust EA, and we all have our own schedules, our own lives, that unless it's something like, say, Final Fantasy 14 or Warframe, which by the way, yeah, keep your eyes peeled on your Ko-Fi in about a couple of weeks, Sozo.
I'll keep my eyes on the prize.
But yeah, it's like, unless it's like games like those where you can jump in at any time and play with your friends, that's fine. But something like this, nah, that ain't it, Chief.
Yeah. Like, this is why I like games like Borderlands 2, where it's just like, sure, I can play fine enough by myself, but just having somebody middle of a run at any point just be able to jump in and log in and just start shooting with me, that's great. I love that. It's just like, hey, I love games that are the epitome of, hey, you see you play a game, can I join? Sure.
Right. By all means, hop on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get, like, the director of this is definitely passionate about the craft and everything, but I feel very much that this is targeting us, again, much like with what I was talking about with that Lord of the Rings game. This is targeting a specific niche of people who like cooperative games, but people who also have a schedule that they can collaborate with other people on to be able to do it at the same time. It feels very much like a streamer kind of game. That's the thing.
Right. Honestly, I see a way that this can be resolved. I know it's not gonna happen, but hear me out. Y'all know Resident Evil 5?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do the co-op kind of like that, where even if you don't have somebody to play with, just have the other person controlled by, I hope, a better tuned AI. Something like that. I swear to God, Chev, if you waste all those fucking sniper rounds.
I do agree. Like, if nothing else, if you're gonna go down that route, do it better than games like Tales of Berseria. To those who have not played Tales of Berseria on multiplayer, let me tell you what the experience is. Let's say I'm playing the game and you want to join. You were just watching me play the game until battle occurs.
Oh, that just sounds easy.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I was in a call with somebody like a couple of years back where we were playing Tales of Berseria, quote unquote playing it. They were just going through the arc. They were just going through like the first real arc, and I was just sitting there.
Any minute now.
Dude, are you sleeping? What? No, I'm not. Yeah, it's that. Definitely, I don't really feel like it's gonna be on my radar unless something changes with that. Other than that,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyone else have anything else to say, or have we just pretty much gotten it all out?
Pretty
No,
much
we're
got
good.
it all
Yeah,
out.
All right.
I've
Other
got
than
everything
that,
I wanted to say out.
yeah. We also have Frag Punk, which is a new hero shooter, but with cards.
Oh, something along the lines of Hearthstone.
Something like that, I think. I don't know. I just look at this and I'm like, couldn't I just play something like Valorant or Overwatch or Apex Legends? Like,
Or,
Marvel
Marvel Rivals, which is free.
Thank you.
Look, I will keep killing this game if I have to. It's fun.
We honestly have to play it. I would love to check it out.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. I will say, again, it is free 99. It is crossplay.
I mean, you already sold me.
Oh.
It's free 99,
Little
so
bit.
yo broke ass can even play it.
It's why even my broke ass can't afford it.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I would have to see more of the game to make it stick out, because it feels more gimmick based, where it's just like, oh, it's a hero shooter, but you also have these cards that can change the weather. Cool, but how exactly does that make me want to play this game instead of anything else?
My brother, Christ, if I wanted to play with cards, I'd boot up Chain of Memories.
If I wanted to play with cards, I would put up Balatro.
If I wanted to play with cards, I'd just fucking play spades.
I mean, Uno is right there.
But yeah, I would have to see more of this, but I seriously think this is big moment of popularity, first week, die down after the first month or so. That's how I feel about that.
Wow, you've just predicted like 85% of competitive games.
Wow, it's almost like I've played a game once in my life.
Well, because I had enough to know when to skip the cutscene.
Who gives a shit? Yeah. Other than that, I mean, Killing Floor 3.
Interesting.
Now, I know people on the Kagado server have been really hyped about this one. So, honestly, I'll wait till the game comes out to see if the hype's well founded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Killing Floor never really interested me as much, but that's only because this is kind of my first time ever hearing about it. So there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to probably do a rain check on this one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Other than that, we have Steel Hunters. This is a mech game done by Wargaming.
Reminds me so much of Titanfall. Not gonna lie.
You're not getting Titanfall 3. We have Titanfall at home.
Yeah, the problem with these mech games is that they never really go out of their way to interest me. It's like the last big mech game that I was genuinely interested in was Mech Assault, and that was decades ago at this point.
Yeah. I mean, last mecha game that I really got really into was Armored Core 6.
Well, yeah, that's Armor.
Never.
That's easy.
Never really played a mech game.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. Here's the thing, like, regarding a mech game. You know what I want regarding a mech game?
What?
You have giant robots.
Yeah, and that's
What is the first thing that comes to mind when you have giant robots?
child pilots with God knows how much emotional trauma. Sorry, I'm
That.
thinking of Gundam.
That. But also, what is the second thing that comes to mind when you're doing giant robots?
Go over the top.
That's a part of it.
Fuck, I didn't think this would be on the shit. I panicked.
Over the top final battles with guns a-blazing.
Bingo. Give me a mecha PvP. Give me a mecha fighting game. Let me pilot a giant fucking robot and beat the living shit out of people online. Give me that. And I'm not talking about Armored Core. I'm talking about give me Gurren Lagann, the fighting game. That's what I want.
Okay, I see what you're driving at. Well, it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
Our next few topics are going to cover that. Actually,
Yeah.
But yeah, again, mech games don't really interest me unless we are living the dream of beating a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Unless we are living the dream of taking the Empire State Building and slamming it across my friend's forehead.
God, you would love watching. You would love G Gundam. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Who's to say I haven't watched it yet? Yeah. Bro, I don't care if it's like I don't care if it's giant monsters or aliens I have to fight. Dude, I will absolutely go for a modern day Pacific Rim game. Like, give me something that lets me fight shit and do stupidly dangerous things with ultimately like just big robots.
Bro, give me Godzilla War Destroy All Monsters Part 2.
Like, fucking that portion of Earth's Defense Force where you are piloting a giant robot. That, but the full game.
Yes, just all the yes.
Yes. I
Yay.
want that. Other than that, we have Black Frost 2.
Interesting. Looks
Yeah.
pretty, and that's basically it.
That's all it's got going for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see how the news turns out about that. I don't really have any opinions about that. But I do have opinions on this. Tekken 8 and Final Fantasy 16 collab.
Let's fucking go. Finally,
fucking
something in my
go.
element.
I am just going to say this right now because I am absolutely uploading this before the sale is over. If you're listening to this the day it comes out, Tekken 8 is available for half price off right now. Go fucking get it. Please.
Go get it. Get ready.
Look.
Get ready for the next
Okay,
round.
look. I will be the first to admit it. As much as I am interested in Final Fantasy, I'm not that big of a fan of it. But that said, the amount of Final Fantasy that I have consumed, which is 7, 9, 10, bit of 14 before my subscription passed up, and 15 as well. This is honestly like I am satisfied because let's be real, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mom who is a fan of Final Fantasy was expecting Tifa Lockhart.
Yes.
Yeah, this reveal has gotten people in a tizzy. Granted, there are folks that do like the reveal and the decision made, but God,
Like,
God, people weren't kidding that when with the drama baiters just being the 10% of the vocals.
Yeah, like, I mean, legitimately, like, Maximilian Dude, as of this recording, came out with a video today saying, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us were expecting Tifa, but honestly, I'm satisfied. I think this is a great choice. And honestly, I mean, all things considered, Final Fantasy, they could have gone for a number of characters from different games. It didn't just have to be from 7. Because, again, 14 is still out, and it's getting expansion after expansion after expansion. And 16 is one of the newest games that they're pushing for. So yeah, I think it does absolutely make sense that they go out of their way to collab with one of their most recent games outside of being a remake. And my thought process there is most likely, yeah, I mean, the remake games are doing fine enough as is. They don't necessarily need any promotion. Because, I mean, here's the thing. When Final Fantasy VII Remake has been in the works for so long, people kind of forget how long Final Fantasy VII Remake has been in the oven for, to the point where we were making jokes about it. We were absolutely making...
I remember those days.
Yeah, and now it's out. It's just like... The whole thing regarding a collaboration is to give more people attention on certain products that other companies and other developers are releasing, so that it can hopefully gain more hype around certain games and certain media that just released, and get more people to buy either or game. And Final Fantasy VII, I mean, yeah, like, everybody who knows about video games to some extent knows about Final Fantasy VII, and if you don't, you're a fucking liar. Let's be real here. How many people right now actually were even aware of Final Fantasy XVI? That's the big question.
While there is a select few, well, for example, the folks in Maximilian's circle, I know Wooly Versus, for example, I know he's got to be popping off at this moment. And yeah, aside from ignoring the naysayers and whatnot, it's not a lot of people know about Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, because the two biggest attractions right now is either 14 or 7, and that's generally because Final Fantasy 7 was such a majorly hyped and popular game. So them going the route of actually collabing with Square Enix and the Final Fantasy 16 team to release Clive and make him DLC character, it gives people who wanted Final Fantasy characters in Tekken 8 genuinely what they wanted, technically, but it also gives people more aware that, hey, we have more games outside of 7 and 14. You guys are aware of that, right? So, them going down this route and going for a character that, by all accounts, from what I've seen on the gameplay and everything, and even heard some of these devs talking, I honestly do kind of see what they're talking about with this character being the more suited to a game like Tekken.
And yeah, I know people, when he does release, are gonna be complaining, not for the fact that, oh, Tifa should have been in here. By the way, while we're on that subject, I've played both Remake and Rebirth. I've seen how Tifa plays. How many Tekken characters can do practically the same thing that she can?
Yeah, I can vouch for this. I may not have Rebirth, but I do have Remake. Yeah. I mean, look, I know essentially this all started because of a joke that Maximilian Dude posted where it's like, dude, Tifa's already in Tekken and she don't even know it. It was a sort of a joke, and very much Harada took it seriously and was like, look, I get that people like her, I get she's a popular character, but this whole thing, that's not necessarily how this works. We can't just ask Square Enix, hey, can we get Tifa? No, there's a lot of hoops that we have to go through. So, I mean, them going out of their way, because this was the same thing with Noctis, is that they could have, at the time, gone with a number of different characters for Final Fantasy or Square Enix. I'm not exactly No. Tekken 7 came out before Final Fantasy 7. But yeah, they could have absolutely still have released a Final Fantasy 7 character like Tifa in it, but her moveset is just it isn't anything really much to write home about regarding DLC, because that's the biggest thing too, is that regarding Noctis, is that you want the character to be a reason for people to buy them. You want this character to be premium content on some level. And if the premium content is just kind of playing on the same kind of field, or more so not as different compared to Jin Kazama, Kazuya Mishima, or even Reina, one of the newest characters, then you're not really going to make it a successful DLC. But you get a character like from Final Fantasy 16 with a fucking sword and can turn into Ifrit, like, oh, by all accounts, you are going to see people go for that.
With his own dog, Command Grab. Good boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, all right, here's the part where I get to... All right, let me know when you... this is the part where I get to gush.
No, you go ahead.
Because... Go off. All right, because I've played Final Fantasy 16. I enjoy Clive as a character. I enjoy the story he goes through. It's like, so just seeing him in Tekken 8 game with the gameplay, being able to incorporate every single ability from every single icon in his moveset to the point where it looks like he might need a goddamn thick book equivalent to War and fucking Peace to learn. It gives me a sense of, what is it? I want to say anticipation, because I want to learn this character.
Yeah.
I want to be good with this character. I want to be able to counter June fucking Kazuya. I mean, granted, I still can if I can. But still, to be able to just rush in with Odin's sword and then pop off and hit him with and hit a counter like that. That's the type of stuff I live for.
Oh, and I will already tell you right now, the moment I get Clive, he's going in the lab, and I will absolutely find ways to counter your shit. But you already knew that.
Yeah, I already knew that. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. I'd look at you and like, the hell happened, man?
I know Scion doesn't play as much Tekken compared to either me or even Arashi, but at the same time, it's just like, again, Tekken 8, half off. Half off. We're getting a free like test for Clive pretty soon if people want to check it out now. So yeah.
Wait, also technically, this will be your second official instance where you get to listen to the composer's music. So for Soken, yeah, his music.
Yeah, that too. And also I've been talking a little bit more about this, but next year I am absolutely considering, because I am fully admit I have this game modded, I am considering streaming it live, just us going to town and just this private server and just going to town with mods and everything. I am considering it. And if Bandai Namco comes on my ass for that because I got mods, well then I'm just gonna go back to doing what I usually did, and that is playing the game with mods without actually televising it. Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say ultimately at the end of the day, this is gonna... Okay, look, this is absolutely going to have people pissed in one way or the other, because look, this is gonna be the Noctis situation where you will see a bunch of people pissed off at anybody using this character. But time and time and time again, numbers don't lie. So I absolutely believe, similar to Noctis, we are going to see a lot more people, especially considering that it's on sale now during the time the collab is releasing. Yeah. This is gonna have a lot of people buying Tekken 8 and even buying Final Fantasy 16 and getting Clive. This is gonna absolutely, without a doubt. Regardless, even if people say, "Oh man, well you're just catering to the Final Fantasy 16 like fans." Well, one, and you're catering to the Final Fantasy 16 fans, and B, you're catering to Final Fantasy fans. This is gonna sell.
It will sell. So yeah. So those of you that are whining and crying and bitching now, all I can safely say is, stay mad.
Get good, fuckers. Anyway,
Get good. Get good. Catch this up,
yeah.
people.
Yeah, Scion, unless you have, like, something you want to add, I think we can move on.
Yeah, I said what I wanted to say, so.
Okay. Next
right.
on that, Splitgate 2, aka Thinking with Portals.
Portal with Thinkles.
Eh.
This game had a sequel. Yeah. Here's the thing too, and this brings up an interesting conversation, is that the more time has gone on, is that the more I have realized how forgettable a lot of these games coming out are. Because, you know, like, it at this point, it takes more nowadays than photorealism to get my attention. It really does. And I don't have a hate boner for anything photorealistic, don't get me wrong. It's just when everything is photorealistic, none of it is photorealistic. When everyone's super, no one will be. So, and I even took a quick look and was just like, alright, Splitgate 2, when did it come out? Oh, it came out in 2019. Interesting. It's interesting. It's 5 years old at this point, which is a feat in and of itself. That's really great, and it obviously did well for itself. But you know what also did well for itself in 2019 as well?
What?
Devil May Cry 5.
Hell yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Games like those coming out when they did is exactly why games like Splitgate and whatnot just did not get much traction, just did not get much attention, despite the fact that they come out with sequels. Like, it's just like, there will only be like so many games that come out that ultimately just actually go above and beyond. Like, for instance, a couple years back, we had an announcement for a game that had a cast that was all 80s and 90s, like Chuck Norris, Kim Basinger, Danny Glover. Don't remember the name of it, which kind of adds to my point of forgettable games. But you know what also was coming out sometime later? What we had was Hades 2. We had Windblown. Like, Lethal Company and Helldivers 2 was coming out. Like, games such as Splitgate 2 coming out and everything. Cool, but there's gonna be a significant amount of more memorable and a lot more enjoyable stuff that comes out, that this is just gonna fall under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, you want to know, like, for instance, especially regarding the photorealism, I will say this. I had no fucking idea Call of Duty had 6 Black Ops games. In my mind, it went from 2 to 3, and then it was radio silent. And the only reason why was because 2 came after 3, came before 3, and 3 was banking on the success after 2.
Basically.
And the only game in my mind that has actually gotten some level of traction since then is Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. And even then, that's kind of fizzled out. But ultimately, it's just like, at the end of the day, I just feel like a game like, much like along the lines of Splitgate 2, I just don't think this is just going to hit as much. I'm sure there are probably people who enjoy it, that actually play it. Probably this hits the competitive scene like crazy first week, and then dies off on the month after. But other than that, I just don't really see this actually. I just don't really see this being much of a success. I could be wrong on that, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Hey, if it becomes a success, then hey, we'll happily admit we were proven wrong.
Oh, I will happily admit I was proven wrong any day of the week.
But we already know how this is gonna go, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. In other words, Mecha Break, aka giant robots.
Yeah, oh, Mr. Sozo, I understand you wanted giant robot PvP.
Yep. I honestly, this is more along the lines of what I was thinking, but it's not fully in there, but it definitely is a start.
But it is in the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another game that reminds me of freaking Titanfall.
You're not getting Titanfall 3. Let it
You're
go.
not getting
damn it.
Titanfall 3. I
Alright, go ahead.
honestly, this game I would say looks pretty good. I think this game I would ultimately say that if this game does not succumb to a lot of the predatory AAA game development practices and whatnot, we could probably see a decent title. And hey, if it's a plus, if it is co-op and everything, we might be seeing another big game, another big party game where you just go around and giant robots shooting shit. Which, hey,
Well,
I would love that, 100%.
well, very good news. I'm looking at it now. It is online co-op.
Well, that's
Let's
good.
go.
It's set for 2025, but yeah, online PvP, online co-op. So definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, Virtua Fighter's coming back.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, we're not. It's not. I've looked into it. It's not 6. It's unfortunately not 6. But that said, hey, more Virtua Fighter, and it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah. It's developed by the same guys who did the Yakuza series, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I did see some comment every now and then. Oh my god, Virtua Fighter really looks like it's ripping off Tekken. Hey,
Where do you think
hey,
it started?
my brother in Christ. Who do you think ripped off who? Bro, like, Tekken has been riding this...
upside the head.
Yeah. Tekken has been riding the success of 2 games in particular. Street Fighter, which is a no-brainer, and Virtua Fighter. Those are the 2 big games. Customization for your characters, Virtua Fighter really started to really play with that. Little avatars that you can personalize and customize to your own self. Yeah, what Tekken 8 started doing, Virtua Fighter started doing that as well. Not hard to find this information. And I guarantee you other games have been doing what, like, Tekken has done earlier as well. Like, it's not anything new. But Virtua Fighter, the new game that they're coming out with, honestly, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. I am not too big of a Virtua Fighter fan myself. But that said, I mean, hey, I'm an FGC member, so...
It's obligation at this point. But yeah, I am happy for the Virtua Fighter fans that they're getting something.
Yeah. New Virtua Fighter comes out before Kingdom Hearts 4.
Mhm. Oh, hey, Destro, you're in here?
Destro, when'd you get here?
Like a few minutes ago.
Alright. I'll add you. But yeah, if you like, just for a time being, if you wanted to talk about, because I know you were a little excited for this, yeah, Mecha Break, aka the game with giant robots.
Excited.
I'm willing to give that game a fair try, but I know for a fact I probably gotta suck at it. Because of
Everybody
how-
starts
how
the
fa-
beginner at some point.
Because of how fast-paced it looks.
Yeah.
And it seems like one of those games to get, like, really easy to get lost in the sauce.
Turns out you were not quirked up.
Because of how much shit is going on.
But yeah,
But
if you can avoid your retinas getting melted out, yeah, it'd be a fun game for all of us to enjoy.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that game does well. Because
Alright.
Because I want to play a giant robot game where I don't get my ass kicked by the tutorial. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do know what you were talking about.
An accessible
All I can say is,
giant robot
all I
game.
can say is, you don't deserve the name of Raven.
I mean, when I played it, I did get past it. I didn't get filtered.
Like people still got this about that. All right. Now, speaking of the makers of the studio from that did the Yakuza series,
Yeah, because that also is on my list right now. Project Century.
1950 Yakuza. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was like, damn, it really got bloody in there. Thought I was watching a Dragon Age video. You know, the good ones.
Yeah,
I apologize. That was too much.
I apologize for my outburst. But yeah, I mean, it's made by the same people who do Yakuza, and I 100% believe it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a decent success. I mean, it looks fucking sick. Like, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, after playing Like a Dragon for a bit, I would say one of my... I know this is the charm of the series, but I think one of my biggest personal gripes with the combat is how cartoonish it is. I know, again, it's the charm of the series. This is what a big part of what people would sign up for and everything. But at the same time, like, when I throw a guy into a fucking car door, when I fucking kick him into a lamppost, when I beat him to death with a fucking traffic cone, I want to see something break. I want to see bones breaking. I want to see a face mangled. Like, genuinely. I want to be on that fucking God of War high. And looking at Project Century and just what they're doing, it's just like, I feel like this is definitely giving me what I would definitely look for in the kind of game like this.
Yes.
As you're seeing a man have his face caved in and blood gushing out everywhere. He's like, this is what I want. Give me that. Give me Mortal Kombat before it decided to go all pansy.
Give me Grand Theft Auto, except more like 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And not the definitive edition. Anyway.
Oh, God, no. Please. Oh, how dare you bring up bad memories.
You know what? I apologize for the bad memories. Let's keep this up with good memories. Turok!
I know what
Woo!
I'm fucking called. I wasn't even trying. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if it was fucking Turok?
Honestly, it's Turok. I'm excited.
That was a game franchise I did not expect to walk out of the grave.
Yeah.
Fucking bust out. I ain't hear no fucking bell. But yeah, I'm overly excited for Turok. I mean, you're basically fighting dinosaurs. How can you not get hyped?
I will just say this. Don't make this Doom 3.
Oh God.
Because look,
Don't
what
jinx it.
the whole thing with Doom 3, like years of silence. Doom 3 gets announced like, oh my god, Doom, it's back! It's fucking back! Let's fucking go! Turns out to be one of the worst fucking games ever. Period. Like, fucking John Carmack fucking ruined Doom. Like, oh my god. Fucking
Bad game. I can't even see.
Fucking,
Can't see it.
it's just like you get a flashlight. It's just like oh cool. So like can I see with it? Like can you what? And you get a shotgun. It's just like oh man great a shotgun. And then it has some of the most bullshit ass fucking fire. Because on one hand it can take like 50 rounds to put down a guy. On the other hand it could take like maybe one.
Yeah, that was one of the worst shotguns I have ever seen in a video game.
Yeah, and the fucking
It's sheer level of inconsistency with it was
like,
ridiculous.
yeah, and just like, oh my god, and just the RNG in Doom 3 fucking sucked. Like, at least like RNG in Doom previously was more consistent and a lot more fun. Fucking Doom 3 sucked at RNG, and don't even get me started on the fucking BFG. God, ah.
How do you make one of the most iconic video game weapons not this?
Yeah.
What did you do?
God, are we glad Doom 2016 came back? Just came and just said,
Yeah.
nah, fuck
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, please, that's all I fucking ask at this point. You're reviving a series after so long. Do not make it Doom 3.
What studio is going to be in charge of Turok?
Let's look into it. Turok Origins. Saber Interactive. The people that... Okay. The people that did Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary.
So we might be in good hands.
That depends. It really does. But...
That's why I added the might.
Yeah. I mean, like, fucking Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, that's a conversation for another day. Preferably one that I am dead. Anyway, Helldivers 2 got an expansion. wait, would you want to continue?
Oh, wait, they also did Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2.
Okay, so we might be in good hands. Moving on.
Yeah, we're good.
Helldivers 2 got an expansion?
More dumbasses!
The four dumbasses fighting for democracy.
Hey, I'm
dying to be Illuminate.
y'all, I'm just like, I don't really have an interest to play fucking Helldivers. All three of you, all in favor of getting Sozo to play Helldivers, say hi. Me. I said it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Democracy just doesn't work.
But yeah, we all know about the whole.
Yeah.
But we all know about the whole thing. Fuck Sony.
Yeah, like, dude, like that is the biggest thing. I absolutely, even as someone who doesn't own it, have nothing but good things to say about Helldivers 2. But God, fucking Sony, you shat the fucking bed, bet on the wrong fucking horse, and now you're bitching at your entire consumer base that they don't buy your worst console. Fuck y'all.
So how's that? So about that Concorde there, huh, Sony?
So,
yeah,
Astrobot was not the horse you wanted to ride in on.
But nah, Helldivers 2, I may not play it anymore, especially after that whole thing, but that doesn't stop me from getting excited for it and for the people that do enjoy it.
Yeah. And besides, we get to ride on a warthog and blare out the Red vs. Blue, the warthog theme.
Yeah. I know exactly what she's talking about. Anybody who's watched Red vs. Blue knows what she's talking about. Wait a second.
Yep.
The hell's that music?
My God.
Other than that, Warframe 1999.
That was what I had to make to remove Path of Exile 2 to put on because I've been waiting for this one for quite a long time. I couldn't really pop off during the live stream because we were too busy making fun of the lady's dress, Rebecca Ford, new head of Digital Extremes, and overall, according to the community, savior of Warframe. I'll send you a video on that whole thing later, Sozo.
Yeah, right. Pretty sure.
All right.
Like, I'll just say this. Probably no offense to her, Probably a great woman, probably a decent person to talk to, but, lady, who designed your dress?
Well, the funny thing was she had way better dresses last year.
It really feels like you got pulled a "the Emperor has no clothes" moment.
It's just like, don't get us wrong, Space Mom, we love you.
But
How was that bad choice?
it's just like, look, Space Mom, we love you and respect you, but if you don't change your wardrobe right now, I am going to slap a bitch. I'm going to end something. Someone's life ends with me.
It's like, it won't be you though. You're fine. But yeah, it's like we were too busy talking about that, and I forgot. I didn't even hear who it was, and then I heard about. Wait a minute, that's fucking Rebecca Ford. Oh shit, Warframe talk. All right, but yeah, I'm excited for 1999. It's basically a really massive story update. And what's funny is it's based off one of their old games, because beforehand Digital Extremes originally did Unreal Tournament and later on Dark Sector, which would later turn into Warframe. Mm-hmm. So that's what this whole expansion is all about, is based off of.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's safe to say I'm excited for it. I have it on my Steam Deck right now, so I can get back into it.
Cool.
And again, it's free. If you want to give it a shot, I know me.
Bro, you said it was free. You already signed my fucking paycheck.
Look, tell me more about this free. But yeah,
free.
I will give one warning though. The start does not tell you where to go. Well, after the tutorial.
It's free.
And that is
free.
I just want to give,
like, no disrespect, that was my biggest problem with Hollow Knight, is because I was trying to see whether or not I wanted to keep the game. And the game does not, anyone who has not played Hollow Knight, the game does not hold your hand. The game
free? I can get lost?
Yeah, you can get fucking lost. And I was just like, dude, I want to get to this story. Where do I go? Where do I fucking go? And it was just, I was reaching the 2-hour mark, and I was just like, I've been going in circles for fucking an hour now. I've seen that same spirit mushroom 3 times now. That's not the same spirit mushroom. Yes, I am. See, even it knows we're lost. Oh, sure. Believe a mushroom over your own brother.
But yeah, I don't know if they've streamlined the tutorial to actually say, okay, go here. But if you ever want to give it a shot, I know myself and Ninja play Warframe. It also has cross-play and cross-platform. So
is it online co-op? Or at least online?
It's not. It is online co-op, but it's not forced. You can play it solo if you want.
Good. Yeah, you know what? You convinced me. I think sometime down the line, I will absolutely do it live.
All right.
Yay!
Alright. Duster, did you want to add anything to Warframe?
I've never touched Warframe, so I have nothing to add.
And I will let Ninja know when that happens.
Okay. In other words, speaking of games that we've never touched, Palworld Faybreak.
Not interested.
I mean, it looks fun. Especially the Nordic man boxing with a fucking towel.
My biggest concern is, I want to get Palworld, I just don't have the money.
That's fair.
Interesting.
I mean, it's the only good Pokemon game in a long time. Yeah, shame about that. Ain't that right, Nintendo?
You know, I mean, that whole lawsuit could have been avoided if they just asked him, hey, you guys make a good open world game, and you guys have a game that's similar to ours. You want to work together for a new Pokemon game?
I mean, that could have been. That could have.
We could have
That
asked
would've
because,
been-
dear God, fucking Nintendo, you kind of need help on that end.
Like, God, Scarlet and Violet on launch was just.
Mm,
Oh,
Just kinda keep my mouth
I
shut.
have seen. I fear no man, but that thing, it scares
Squid
me.
Man. All right, I believe this one, next one is yours and Scion's, Allie.
Yep, because we're talking about another game that's getting an expansion, Wuthering Waves, which is getting a new region and going to be available on the PS5 finally.
I'm excited for this. I'm gonna be honest. You say the characters look really cool in the new region. The new region looks very pretty. And yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's not just Wuthering Waves. I don't give really too much of a fuck about any gacha game story because, let's be real, every gacha game story is just bloated dialogue after bloated dialogue. And it's all intended for the sake of so that you continue playing it for longer and stick with it. That's why I think for most of the reasons why Hoyoverse doesn't actually really do much skipping with their actual cutscenes and games and everything. But aside from that, I mean, Wuthering Waves is by far, I think, one of the funnest experiences I've had with a Breath of the Wild clone. It is the exploration is honestly so enjoyable to like play through. The characters are so varied and so much fun to play as. Oh my god, the combat is so enticing and fun. I love that commercial for it is literally just taking gameplay from the actual game. Like, there's no special cinematics really as much. There's no special, oh yeah, we're making this, like, this specific cinematic or cutscene for this trailer and everything. No, that's all from in-game engine. And yeah, it's just all of that mixed with the new region and the new characters we're getting and everything, like, yeah. And I will absolutely say if I did have the money for it, I would like to own this on a console like the PS5. However, currently, I would be owning the PS5 for two games in particular, and that's Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail. I do not think that it's worth the price tag yet. And I guess Astrobot too, but I'm going to give it some time before that becomes outsourced to Steam.
And even then, that's still like 3 games. It's not
It's
worth
still
it.
3 games. At most, that is like $210 US at most. But even then,
It's like, okay, so
one of them is a fully priced game, and the other 2 are free $99.
and you know how much we love our $3.99.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am definitely interested to check this game out, check this new region out, and yeah, yeah, I would have to more or less. I guess I would just have to more or less see what else it has available. But I mean, currently, Wuthering Waves is just in a state where it's just like I don't really think I need to say much because I feel like the gameplay speaks for itself. It doesn't really need me to convince anybody. So I mean, like like here's the thing: if you've seen the trailer and whatnot and the announcement, if you've seen like what they showed at the Game Awards, and that's not your cup of tea, then this game is not for you. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of gameplay and all that, Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Let's go.
Oh boy. I'm gonna let y'all take the mic on this one before I get into it, because I got a lot.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll say you go first, Arashi.
All right, in that case, all right. When we saw when we first saw the house, nobody knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we saw the spirits and the gauntlet that we all lost our collective shit.
Basically.
In fact,
We all thought it was
I
gonna be
think
like a Sekiro sequel or something like that.
Sekiro Shadow die 4 times.
Die some more.
But yeah, the idea that not only is Capcom coming out of nowhere with steel chair to crack over our heads with the form of Onimusha, we're getting Onimusha, holy shit, after 20 years, after almost 20 years. Yeah, because the last one was Onimusha 3. It's just I'm just shocked that I'm still alive in a timeline where I can play a new Onimusha game.
Yeah.
I need a minute.
Basically what Arashi said, but it looks real pretty. And let me just say, it looks really cool, and I might give it a shot.
It's just so beautiful. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hysterical for a while. God, Mestro, go ahead.
Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm kind of like the blind person looking in because I've only like played like a few minutes on Onimusha game. My Onimusha exposure is minimal. I wanted to play Onimusha, but God said no. And I mean that by saying one day I went to a local game store, I bought an Onimusha game to play, took it home, played the tutorial fight, crash. The game disc would not want to work. I got a bum copy.
Ouch.
And which Onimusha was it? Fuck, I forget which one. The best way I could describe which one I played is have you played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom?
I've heard of it. I've seen it.
Like, there's an unplayable Onimusha character in that game, and basically I played the game where that character was from. Well, at least try to play.
It wasn't the guy that looked like Jean Paul, was it?
I think he wore like blue armor, wielded a big sword.
Do you have any idea? Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? That could be anybody.
I think his name was like Soki or something. Started with an S.
No, not Samanosuke, no. Okay, but I think it might have been either 2 or 3.
But either way, I tried, but
Well, consider this your official first Onimusha game.
But I want to because I like the genre of game. But this new one looks really good. The combat looks satisfying. It's really pretty to look at. But yeah, I'll definitely be looking into this one. Besides, like you said, 20 years, right?
20 years. All right, I think that's all of us. Sozo, if you're ready.
I think he's cracking the cold.
All right.
All right.
All right. Okay. 2001, Onimusha Warlords comes out. We're running. We're hunting up demons. We're absorbing their souls. We're getting powers. We got a lightning sword. We got a fire sword. We got a wind sword. We're chopping up demons left and right. Big boss comes at the end. Fuck, he's unbeatable. Oh shit, I gotta go to this entire 20-floor labyrinth of nothing but demons after demons after demons on survival mode just to get a fucking flute, and by the time I get it, invincible sword, one-shots just about every single fucking demon you come across. Perfect to deal with the final boss, disappears after that. Onimusha Warlords, first game, peak. It's absolutely just one of the best Capcom games ever at the time. 2002 comes out. We go more into the formula. We add in several new characters. Not really a whole lot to focus on there because mainly a lot of them are kind of one-dimensional and not really interesting. And there's different paths. And game more or less is alright. They added in a new mechanic in which that was sort of a quote-unquote major spoiler from the end of the first game and everything. But new mechanic kind of sucks. Not because it isn't powerful. By all means, it's powerful. It is game-breaking bullshit. But it is set on an automatic trigger. The moment you get 5 purple souls, it just triggers automatically. You could be dealing with one of the most bullshit bosses, have the entire meter filled up with 4 souls, kill them like 1 HP. You're like literally just struggling to keep alive. You get that 5th soul, and all of it goes away. 2003, we get 2 Onimusha spin-off games. Not really a whole lot of focus there. Mainly not really a whole lot of people gave a fuck. But 2004, we come back. Now, we don't have Jubei. Now, we're back with Seminosuke in Demon Siege. And we are actually taking down Nobunaga again. But oh no, this time we got time travel. And we deal with some dude from France who's in the middle of a war with the demons who are now called Genba. And now, we get to go back and forth between 2 protagonists. Now we have a character who can use a fucking whip and whip weapons like a chainsword, an extensive spear, a fucking ice mace, and Saminosuke, now he doesn't have his original weapons. Now he's got an air blade, he's got light twin blades, he's got an earth axe, and if you actually beat the game doing certain things, you actually get original weapons back. The whole game, pretty much 2004, genuinely, honestly, a lot of fun. You get to play as 3 particular characters, and you get to just duke it out fighting demons. The combat is weighty. It has a lot of great moments to it. It has some great impact, and by God, the visuals actually, in my mind, still fucking hold up. And oh my God, just the amount of replayability this game has had, but at the same time, one of the biggest bullshit moments regarding Onimusha, which was the water puzzle, does come back in Onimusha 3 Demon Siege for one particular moment. But aside from that, the game has a lot to do with continuity regarding time travel, and, some things actually do make sense, other times it's confusing. But other than that, it is just so entertaining to see just these different timelines converge and intertwine, and just how much it's so fun, it's so enjoyable, it's such a great capper to the series. And then 2006 comes by with Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, and it's a okay game that didn't really live up much to hype after 3 and everything, but it's fine. It's okay.
I think that's the one I tried to play.
Yeah, he had a completely new character, and yeah, he had a big blade. It was fine. It was okay. And after that, radio silence. Radio silence for over a decade almost. That is until later on in the 2010s, there is an announcement. Onimusha Warlords 1 remastered. We get this game after how long? And we get it remastered for the recent Xbox, for the PS4, for the Nintendo Switch, for Steam. And yeah, they added in some new mechanics and whatnot to break up the original playstyle of Onimusha, essentially switching between weapons and whatnot. But it was cool. It was cool. It was cool to have it back. I would still recommend playing the original if you can, but ultimately, the first remaster, it actually wasn't that bad, and it was great to play this game after so long. And also, fun fact, my brother fucked up the disc on PS2, so for years, I had been able to beat this fucking game, but because I could not actually watch the ending cutscene, I have, on record, never been able to beat it. Anyway.
Damn.
Anyway.
I'm not the only one that fucked up this.
Yep. Anyway, so that was all we were getting, and honestly, I was satisfied because, hey, at the very least, you guys are aware Onimusha exists, and you did your best to preserve it with Onimusha 1. All I was asking for in return, hey, can you remaster 2 and 3 and rebalance them to be less aggravating in a lot of ways? Other than that, I mean, like, pretty much, I pretty much can't really get mad at just Onimusha 1 remastered, and pretty much that's all we had for a long time, and we've kind of been moving on to other stuff, because Capcom moving on with Street Fighter 6, Devil May Cry 5, like, they're moving on to other stuff, and it's okay, it's fine. 2024, and to add on what you were saying, yeah, many people across the board, I have seen different reactions. So many people thought this was going to be Sekiro 2. The amount of hope for a new Onimusha game has dwindled that significantly. We had all but given up on this series. Genuinely, across the board, I do not know anybody who thought this was immediately going to be coming out first. At least with Supergiant, right? When we saw that logo for Hades 2, there was some speculation like, hey, maybe we are getting some Hades 2. Because, hey, if it's Supergiant, one of their biggest games is Hades. They gotta make a sequel, right? Even though they've never made a sequel. But, hey, it would be really great if they made a sequel. Hey, look at that, they made a sequel. Onimusha, Way of the Sword releases, and I didn't know what the hell to think. All I just see is red fire around. It wasn't until we got that close-up of the gauntlet where I was just... What? Are you kidding me? We are actually getting back? They knew we wanted it fucking back, and just seeing it. I have heard some people bitch about the graphics. Fuck you! Game looks beautiful. Like, if we can accept Elden Ring for how it looks, we can accept Onimusha Wear the Sword in 2026 for how it is. And quite frankly, I don't give a fuck that it's gonna take another year, maybe even more time to actually release, because quite frankly, that gives me more time to actually save up money for pre-ordering this game, because you bet your fucking ass, I do not like pre-ordering games. You can bet your sweet ass I will absolutely be pre-ordering this game the moment I fucking can. Because this game, just to give you an idea of just how excited I am for this game, I have done some digging around. I have talked to other people. I've talked to Dooms, and we've looked into this, and she has actually found out that the original, like, people who actually used to work on this game, like, people who worked on Onimusha and everything, came back to work on this. They're coming back to work on Onimusha Way of the Sword in a game that is more like Neo. Like, this is just, I cannot stress how fucking excited I am for this. The fact that the trailer showcases a giant ass fucking demon and you're able to throw that bitch around as if it's fucking Devil May Cry again? Like, bro, sign my ass up. I want more Onimusha. I want this so goddamn bad. I can taste it. I love this series with every fiber of my goddamn being. It is a shame that we got some mid to low tier spin-offs and sequels and whatnot, but hey, it's okay, because if we can get a genuinely fun experience that's challenging like we did back in the day and more, I 100% will forgive the entire wait. This is catering to my nostalgia, I'll 100% say it, and I fucking love it. I absolutely cannot wait to see what they give away for Onimusha Way of the Sword. So if you guys need more time to cook, fucking I will give you as much time as possible to cook. That is my piece.
Okay, well, first of all, holy shit, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I could just feel the love for the series from over here, and like, goddamn.
Sheer amount of passion.
There
Yeah.
is a level I genuinely love to this day in Onimusha 1. You're going through, like, different parts of the keep and everything, and you meet 3 big hulking-ass demons. And, yeah, you know, this game, early on, it'll introduce you to a big hulking demon with horns and everything, and he does some major fucking damage. Like, one swing, oh, you are done for at least 5 seconds, and oh boy, you're gonna be lucky if that's all he does, because if he gets close up to you, he'll start just slamming you on the ground with his axe. Onimusha is a difficult game, but it's not impossible, and putting you against 3 big hulking demons, 3 to 4 big hulking demons, with limited resources being your weapons and magic system, that you have to go to places to recharge, or be lucky if you can get some soul stat to recharge it. Like, this predates Souls-like as a genre. But at the same time, with the way it's handled, it is significantly a lot more fun to me than Souls-likes.
Well, all right then.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Artstation with his piece on the origins and history of Onimusha.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But no, overall, that just made me even more excited for Way of the Sword coming out in 2026.
Yeah. Oh my god, I could gush about, like, in the same vein of you, like, here's why genuinely I do not give a shit whether or not people gush about stuff like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts in a call, because I know 100% what it's like to find that one series you are fucking nostalgic for and you fucking enjoy. Like, if it means that much to you, absolutely go off.
All right, then. Good to know.
So, now that we've done all that, let's continue this with another game, Kazan the First Berserker.
It has promise. I like how we go from absolutely going mental over Onimusha to just trying to find something to say.
Yeah. Don't
But
worry.
I will.
It's gonna be like that for a while.
That's fair. Because a few of our biggest heavy hitters were Warframe, Modern Waves, and Onimusha and Tekken 8.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it does show promise. Also, fun fact: the voice of Clive Rosfeld, Ben Starr, is apparently voicing in this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my piece on it. Seriously, I'm happy that man is getting his time in the sun.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, I think it's interesting.
Oh yeah. Anyway, all right. Scion, Destro, please talk.
It exists. I don't know.
There you go. But yeah, honestly, the main thing was the Ben Starr thing.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I guess we can move on to something else. Dungeon and Fighter A-Rad, aka the only Nexon game on this list.
Yeah, but God,
It's Nexon.
Yeah,
It's
wait,
Nexon.
talk about this one.
It's Nexon. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, me neither.
Same.
Moving on. Dying Light: The Beast.
It looks fine. It's probably more interesting than Dying Light 2. Because mainly behind the whole thing was just zombie apocalypse.
It's interesting to say the least, but I'm not that interested.
Yeah, I gotta say. Although, I do have something that is the opposite on my end. Post Malone's Murder Circus.
still can't believe that's an actual thing. I'm finally getting
Yeah.
to kill the insane cloud posse.
Dude, you put Post Malone and gave him a game, and it's just like, alright, I gotta see what this dude cooks.
It's like, I own the company now in my contract.
I mean, to be fair, this year he didn't moved on to country music.
I mean, now he's just moved on from country music to video games.
So yeah, let's see where it goes.
He's like Soulja Boy, except I actually like him.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
There, see, yeah, he does look like an alright guy to hang out with.
Guy, Post Malone, a dude with that many tattoos, especially on his face, just like, yeah, you know, I like his swagger. I would let him buy me a drink.
I like
Yeah.
the cut of his
Yeah.
I like your funny words.
Magic Man. Just fucking, like, just, you can see just Post Malone absolutely laughing maniacally just over this game and everything. Just us as Zim. He seems like a happy guy. But yeah, definitely, if nothing else, I don't think this name is going to escape my mind anytime soon.
Nope, not.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, Stage Fright, which is a co-op game made by the same people who did Overcooked.
But instead of 4 dumbasses, it's 2 dumbasses.
But with enough dumbassery that it could be 4.
I just see the name. I just hear the name Overcooked and the amount of vitriol that builds up my body. I'm like,
Is it about the onions?
Trust me. I tried to play that game one time with my local friend group, and I about murdered him. Even when I did not have a controller in my hand watching those dumbasses play, I'm like, I felt like I was going to transform into Gordon Ramsay. And start calling people donkeys.
Or idiot sandwiches.
So, Destro, what could I do to actually get you to play this?
Oh, the things you would have to do.
You have to strap me to a chair and gag me, dude. So yeah, sounds like a good time.
It sounds like a normal Friday night.
You try.
Challenge accepted.
Just come up like Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Five seconds later, he just hears,
Oh, that's my pizza.
"Hey, it's me, Goku." Hey, it's me, Goku.
Like, I heard you're strong.
But yeah, it looks cute. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, it does look cute. Looks like good
Yeah.
harmless fun. I'm fucking lying. I'm sorry.
And other than that,
It all depends.
yeah, it really depends on how it turns out. Because from the preview, it just looks in the similar vein of, like, what was it called?
Overcooked.
It Takes Two.
Yeah, It Takes Two. It was Split Fiction as well. The same person that did it. It looks like Split Fiction and It Takes Two, where it's just like, it feels a kind of game where it feels mandatory co-op. So if it turns out like that, I'm just gonna be like, nah.
Granted, it probably won't be like that. Maybe.
I hope it isn't. But other than that, Game of Thrones King's Road.
I do not care for Game of Thrones. I
Same
care
here.
to rag on it when I do decide to watch it.
I have
Quick.
no interest.
Quick, we can't milk Lord of the Rings anymore. Let's do Game of Thrones now.
It's like just the Markiplier meme. I could milk you.
Oh yeah,
To
you
me,
can go
that game looked like Shadows of War without Lord of the Rings.
It looked like Shadow of War without the Nemesis system. Fuck Warner Brothers.
Telltale Games. Oh yeah, you can milk anything with nipples. Game of Thrones. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? But yeah, I don't care for Game of Thrones. I don't. All I know about it is some bratty kid named Joffrey and Jon Snow, and it had a shitty ending. That's all I know about that.
You know what my most vivid memory of Game of Thrones is?
Yeah, you're not missing much.
My most vivid memory is when they got called out for somebody leaving a cup of Starbucks on the set. That they had that.
Yeah,
And they didn't catch it.
season.
And they didn't catch it, and they had to edit it.
That was the whole thing.
That
They just did not care.
that's almost like that to me. I feel like it sounds very similar to me, like the Christian Bale moment.
Oh God, I know the one.
Yeah.
The freak out.
Yeah, I did that. If I have to fucking around, go on a set with the lights down in front of you, like this in the back, what the fuck is it with you? Oh my god.
Oh God.
Anyway, Double Dragon Revive is coming up.
Oh, hey, always happy to hear Double Dragon news.
I hope they don't screw us up because Double Dragon Gaiden was a banger.
Mm.
It's done by Artstation, so I mean, it's possible, especially nowadays. They might actually do pretty well. I feel, depending on how this goes, this is probably, don't quote me on this, it probably would start creeping up on the popularity of Strive regarding their games.
Yeah, I could see it.
Like, I don't think that, because here's the thing, like, Guilty Gear Strive, you're appealing to people who are fans of anime fighters. That's without a doubt. And Guilty Gear fans, but mostly anime fighters. Double Dragon, I feel, is on that same, it's on that same level, but just not as quite. But, you know, considering Arxis nowadays, yeah, I do think that there's a possibility that it could be good.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see how it goes.
I'm just wondering what the DLC list is going to look like.
Oh God. Turns out,
I did say it was Arxis, but at the same time, we also have to acknowledge it is Arxis.
Yeah, it is Arxis.
And introducing Double Dragon DLC, Bimmy and Jammy.
Double Dragon DLC. Fuck it. Just soul bad guy.
Yeah.
No bad guy and high keys.
You get like a pack, and you get like most of the Arxis main characters. Except bad guy, Ragnar the Blood Edge.
No. He's too busy in Entropy Effect.
He can do two things.
It can do other things. Why shouldn't it?
Oh God.
Yeah. Other than that, we are getting solo leveling Arise.
Yeah, I've heard that solo leveling was getting a game. But
It's interesting. It looks very interesting, and they brought back the voice actors from the anime for both English and sub.
so got to keep it authentic. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I've been a fan of solo leveling for a long while. I picked up like the physical copy of the webtoon or manhwa, whichever one you want to say it as. And it's always interested me from the get-go. It's not really like a power fantasy that does anything new, but what it lacks for in originality or innovation, it makes up for in heart, because the story of Sun Jinwoo is like actually a pretty empathetic one, and it is honestly because he's a whole character where it's just like his whole purpose is he wants to like be a warrior to help support his family, because that's how that's how this world works. You go through dungeons, you kill monsters, and you reap the benefits, and you get money based off of that. That's how this world works. But the problem is he's just a little baby man. He's just a little baby man. He really is.
Baby man.
Yeah. And the beginning of the story starts off with basically him being sacrificed to a god in a portal and being on the verge of dying, which the anime goes the extra mile to really show just how visceral it is, because in the manga, he gets the shit beat out of him by stone statues and impaled and then put on like a stand. Like, it's brutal, but in the anime, oh god, like, the fucking actors are just going all in, just screaming in pain in that booth. Like, it's guttural, it's visceral, it's so fucking horrendous. But
Damn.
through that leads to him actually basically going the One Punch Man style of training. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10-kilometer run every single day.
And if you fail, you gotta do 4 hours of stamina training being chased by a giant fucking centipede.
Yep. And the more he goes through it, the more he trains, the stronger he gets, to the point where he is like just doing in assassins. Like, honestly, it's a really entertaining story, if nothing else. And what they were advertising with was, in my opinion, the best arc in the entire story. It is basically Solo Leveling's Chimera Ant arc from Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's very bloody, but it also plays to the sort of it plays to the feats of the main character and what he can do now. Alongside, to me, it gives actually a moment where it's like one of the best moments regarding morality. Because there comes a point where he actually gets a power that essentially makes him close to being on the level of a god. But the question is it worth being a god over desecrating the deceased? That's the moment it comes up to. I'm just like, the fact that they actually tackle it, I'm just like, I respect it. So the fact that they're going down like this arc with the game, I'm like, you know what? I 100% like I'm interested. I'm not necessarily gonna say whether or not I'm gonna buy it, but I think that if anybody is really interested in Solo Leveling, this probably will be at the very least a pretty decent retelling of the story.
Okay, that might have pushed me in the right direction, because honestly, when I first saw Solo Leveling, I was a bit iffy on it. I'll admit it.
Yeah. I would say this: if you go into it not expecting anything new, if you go into it expecting just a power fantasy with a character that is actually a character, you'll probably have a decent time. Like, if you go into this expecting Sword Art Online, but Kirito is basically guts, I think you like the Black Swordsman is actually the Black Swordsman. I think you'll have a decent time.
Well,
All right.
Well, shit.
Well, you put it like that, all right. Hey.
But yeah, I think it is generally a like, if nothing else, I would definitely recommend people read the Solo Leveling comic. If nothing else, out of respect for the creator that passed away.
Okay.
Yeah. And for anyone wondering, he did pass away sometime. It was either during or after the story's production, but it was definitely like near the end of the actual story. So everything, pretty much a lot of the vision that the creator wanted got out.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but yeah, enough of that. I can make a full video on Solo Leveling in my own time if I really wanted to. But anyway, next up is Screamer.
of all names to give for a racing game.
Yeah. You hear that? Do you immediately think this is gonna be a racing IP?
No, I think it's going to be more like a horror thing.
Yeah, right? It's like...
No.
Why would you call it Screamer? It's just like that
It
fucking...
certainly got our
It's like that fucking meme. Well, why do you call why you call yourself Cliff Jumper? You're not jumping off cliffs all the time. I've seen you take off of airstrips. Maybe we'll just call you Stripper.
Well, if you wanted to get our attention, I'll be honest, it worked.
There's another thing I want... It's funny because I say that. There's another thing on here that I want to talk about regarding the racing genre, but we'll get to it in a sec. Pretty much, yeah, I don't really know. Racing IPs have kind of gone downhill for me ever since pretty much Rockstar shut down the studio that was doing Midnight Club.
Yeah. God. How many more times must Rockstar fuck up?
Yes. Anyway, Den of Wolves is getting early access sometime. I was curious about this. I actually did a look. Yeah, this game was announced last year at the Game Awards as well. It was just a game that was coming out. I don't know, didn't really look interesting, but I remember that name. So it's evident that yeah, they are. Look, I don't know when this game is coming out.
Did y'all like Payday 2? Y'all might like this one.
Yeah, it's made by basically the same people that did Payday.
Alright, cool. Alright, I'm gonna be right back, so y'all talked amongst yourselves.
Yeah, it's good you kind of left, because at this point now it's basically just gonna be me and Scion, because now we get to talk about Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail.
Yay!
So
One of those games I need to start.
Zenless Zone Zero comes out with a new update. Personally, I have already said that I'm interested and am looking into trying out Zenless Zone Zero. It looks cool. They're giving out a free character currently, I think, with the new update. And yeah, they're giving out new characters and whatnot. So yeah, if anybody is interested, try it out now. Get a free character.
Yeah, not only that, in the Game Awards, they actually give a teaser of one of New Eridu's, very famous celebrities, which is Astro Yao. Who is, I think, voiced by the same English VA as Zila in Honkai Star Rail, but I could be wrong.
It would have to be confirmed. I am in her Discord server, so I would have to check, but, I believe it. The problem with it is just, I haven't actually played the game, so I don't necessarily have too much of an opinion on it, but I am interested in checking it out. Next to that is Honkai Star Rail. Just want to say this right now, for, I believe, this month, and I think next update or so, you can get a free 5-star character, a free 5-star selector. It's basically just the characters they give off the standard banner, but hey, free 5-star. Other than that, we are getting a new world to explore. They're coming out with a new playstyle for the Trailblazer, but the thing is, right, currently, they are on their newest update, which they gave their Trailblazer their own room, finally.
Yay!
Which I have said this in passing, pretty much, a lot of people were saying, oh man, it took a year for the main character to get his own room. God, what took them so long? And as somebody who has not had his own room for 10 years, I have to say, well, that was quick.
Alright, I return.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't really think I really need to talk too much about those games, though. I mean, pretty much, I have said my piece years ago about what I feel about Honkai Star Rail, and I still like it. I still enjoy it. Zenless Zone Zero, have to try it out, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically same. Basically same.
Yeah. Other than that, we were talking about racing IPs. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is coming up.
Let's go!
All right, he's like, all right, Sega, pop off. All they showed us was Shadow stepping into his new car, and then that was it. That was all y'all needed.
That
They
was
knew you were
all
gonna after
they
that.
knew. Fucking, that was all they needed. Look, Sonic 3 could get away with just showing Shadow the Hedgehog's shoes and playing him with Keanu Reeves. That's all we needed.
They knew what sells.
Yeah.
They know. These motherfuckers know.
Mm.
It's basically Sega All-Stars Racing the sequel.
And I'm 100% here for it.
Mm.
Honestly,
But I still-
I 100% am willing to like play this live if I can get other people on board for it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
I'll be down with it if I have like a pass or something.
Just want to say, Nintendo refuses to make a new Mario Kart. Meanwhile, Sega.
Fine, we'll do it ourselves.
No, Nintendo. Yeah, we're not gonna do another Mario Kart. Sega. My day has come! Ha!
My time has come.
But yes, I do. Honestly, my closest like comparison to a good racing game currently in this day and age is Rocket Racing, and I don't care what anyone says. That game is just hella fun. To anyone who hasn't played, it's basically just Mario Kart without items, and you're using Rocket League cars.
Basically.
It's crazy fun. I have not played it in a long while, partially because of the whole thing with SAG-AFTRA, but also because I just have not found anybody who actually like really wants to go to town on it. But anyway, like I know me and Arashi did try it out, but at the same time, it's just like not a whole lot. I couldn't really find a whole lot of people who really were like interested in it. But anyway,
Yeah.
other than that, Mafia: The Old Country.
It's Mafia,
Yeah, it's Mafia.
so
Never played a Mafia game.
you're not missing much.
The only thing I am aware of possibly regarding Mafia is the old man face. The one where he looks like he's about to cry.
So that one.
Yeah, that. That's all I know.
Okay. Okay.
If we're gonna, we should probably blast through some of these honestly because yeah, I said at the beginning the list when I was writing down, just looking at it, holy shit, like there's so much. Yeah, so just Dispatch is being announced. We got Laura Bailey, Aaron Paul, and most notably Moist Critical
And Jacksepticeye.
and Jacksepticeye.
We got you baited into thinking it'd be a TV series.
It looks so much like a TV series, dude.
It really does. And then we saw. Wait a moment. Son of a bitch.
But I think at the very least it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to watching other people play it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely feels like a Telltale Games type situation.
Yeah. So hey, so we weren't wrong. It is technically a TV show.
Hopefully this won't be though. Okami's getting a sequel.
Let's go!
Fucking go.
Tommy!
Another franchise being lifted. Great.
Made by, if I
Now-
recall correctly, the same person that directed Devil May Cry.
Yep, Hideki
Yeah.
Kamiya is back, and he left Platinum, and he even brought back Clover Studio.
Mhm. So here's the thing, and like genuinely, because this has been an announcement for a while, is that Hideki left the team for Devil May Cry, and a lot of people were speculating on why. And personally, I always thought it was most likely because it was Devil May Cry. I mean, it was like, dude, like, y'all motherfuckers have been asking me to do Devil May Cry non-fucking stop. I got other dreams too, you know. I want to work on these other games, but you motherfuckers won't let me fucking work on those other games. I gotta work on Devil May Cry 6. No, fuck that. Y'all can handle that. I trust you. I want to go work on this other stuff. Sometime later. So yeah, I'm going out with Okami.
Yeah.
So fun
I'm
fact,
done. You go first, Arashi.
All right. So fun fact, while they did say Okami sequel, they officially said this is technically the third Okami game, because this came after Okami Den.
I was gonna say Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, that was the last time we saw Amaterasu. God. But yeah, it is technically, it is officially the third game, because of course there was the Okami on the PS2 and the Wii, and Okami Den for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people are saying Okami 2 when there's an Okami 2 right there. But yeah, it's
Okami, but small.
Go, but pup.
Small Kami.
There you go.
Okami.
Yeah.
I am just overall happy.
I love the original Okami. I genuinely do. People probably are surprised to hear that. Like, I talked to Dooms about this, like, hey, Okami's getting a sequel, and it's just like, I'm actually surprised you care that much about it. It's just like, what? I like Okami, I just don't talk about it.
So it's hard to find people to talk about it with.
But yeah, I definitely am excited for the sequel. I definitely do feel like, if nothing else, going back in my own time and replaying the first Okami. I definitely will tell you, come 2025, I don't know if it's the beginning, but definitely later in the year, I am considering revisiting Onimusha 1, 2, and 3.
Well, you already know I'm going to be there for that.
But yeah,
Okami
sequel? Definitely.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Okami sequel, not gonna lie.
I'm just surprised to seeing both of these two Capcom franchises I haven't heard jack shit about for how many years are coming back.
And
I'm
here's
just
the
sitting here
thing.
like,
And here's the thing. If these work out, chances are we can get Mega Man in 2020X.
I'm like, please.
So if this year was the year of Shadow, then next year and 2026 are going to be the years of Capcom. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Give me,
Bro,
give me something.
I'm just like, oh man, I would just like love a Mega Man game nowadays with just like this like the same kind of graphics as Devil May Cry 5, but the same playstyle as Devil May Cry 5, the DLC trailer for the Mega Buster. Like, if you don't, if anybody does not know what I'm talking about, go look up Devil May Cry DLC, Devil May Cry 5 Mega Man DLC. They made a full-ass trailer showcasing Nero running around with just Mega Man's firearm, and it's just full side-scroller Mega Man-esque kind of game.
You're making Devil May Cry like links with like Mega Man. All I could think of is like the two Devil May Cry crossover armors that were in X Dive.
Mm-hmm.
Dante X and Virgil 0. And I'm like, I would love to see those particular things in a mainline Mega Man game.
Mega Man Dante and Zero Virgil.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because if you haven't seen what those armors look like, they look fucking sick.
You can send them to me if you want, but I'll probably put it in post.
Yeah, I'll look them up and send them to you.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get this moving. There's also Crimson Desert. You get to fly on dragons.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Cool.
And now,
Last but not least in terms of the announcement trailers, the new Naughty Dog IP after 50 years, Intergalactic.
People
I'll be
are already
honest.
shitting on it.
oh, of course they are. People are gonna people.
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing, and here's where I don't necessarily blame them too much, because it's just like, that
Yeah.
trailer is not the best example of how to sell your new IP. Because it was very much just looking at a lady with shaven hair talking to another lady on a screen in a ship owned by Porsche. And then from the people who did Last of Us and Jack and Daxter, we're bringing you Intergalactic, and then you get like 10 seconds of gameplay, if that.
Yeah, that trailer
Did not
really
show
did not help.
You know what that reminds me of too, and this is why I'm kind of getting worried? The fucking Star Wars game that didn't pop off. The Star Wars game where... Or not the Star Wars game. It was a game owned by EA. But it was a game, like, last year. Where it was, like, showing all these cool cinematics. And then just, like, barely any gameplay whatsoever until the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... It's too early in the day to know. I mean, it's Naughty Dog, so maybe. Because, I mean, here's the thing. I've never really had any real problems with their games, gameplay-wise.
It's like I get why I get the suspicion and the doubt. I mean, like for all we know, this could be something big. We don't know yet.
Like, I think the biggest thing I'm worried about is this becoming Last of Us Part 3. Intergalactic comes out 5 years later. Intergalactic Game of the Year Edition remastered 10 years out. Intergalactic remastered for the new Steam Deck OLED and whatnot. 20 years later.
Hey, Intergalactic 2? Nobody cares.
Intergalactic 2 comes out, and an actress who's just doing her job gets bashed online.
God's sake, that was stupid.
Yeah, that really was. Anyway, all I'm just saying is fucking glad we're moving on from Last of Us finally.
Yeah.
Alright. That was most to all of the announcements. We haven't even gotten to the awards.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Should we? Okay, real talk, because it is getting late. Do we want to just... Alright, I'm just gonna hip fire blast this. We're just gonna go real quick lightning round for the awards, and then we'll go off on, like, what we think about some of the events. That's it.
Alright.
So, best fighting game, Tekken 8. Sure. Thought Dragon Ball Fighting Zero was gonna get it. Nah.
Yep.
Hey, we're good with what we got. We love it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best VAR game, Batman Arkham Shadow. Don't care. I'm not a VR guy.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Don't care, moving on.
Esports game, League, and other esports stuff. Cool. I don't care. It's esports.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Alright. Games for Impact, Neva. Love Neva. Made a full playthrough of it. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Shameless plug is over.
Yep. Innovation and
Yeah.
Accessibility, Prince of Persia. Only game to actually win that one. Cool.
Yay.
Cool. Good for them.
Best family game, Astrobot. Cool.
The beginning.
Nice.
Astrobot sweep.
The beginning.
Yeah. Nintendo,
Yeah.
Nintendo, you've met your match. Anyway, best performance, Hellblade 2 VA. Good on her. Hate Hellblade. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because unlike some people, we can actually separate person from media.
We can celebrate the art from the artist. Best action game, Black Myth Wukong. Cool.
Let's go.
I really
Yeah.
need to play it.
Yeah, I want to get Black Myth Wukong as well. Most anticipated game, GTA 6, surprising nobody.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Surprising nobody.
Best multiplayer game, Helldivers 2. Honestly, the game needs it after what Sony put them through.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3. Cool.
Yeah, that's right. Mod
Deserved.
support, baby.
Best art direction, Metaphor Refantasio. Deserves it.
Deserved.
Deserved.
Best game direction, Astrobot. Cool.
The
Nice.
second.
Yeah. Part
Best
2
debut.
of the Astrobot sweep.
Yep. Best debut indie game, Balatro. Yeah, as expected.
Yep.
He's probably still surprised he won something.
Best action and adventure game, Astrobot. Yeah, sure. Cool.
Part 3 of the sweep.
Best RPG, Metaphor Refantasio.
Deserved.
Yep. It was paired up with
Sure.
stuff like Final Fantasy VII, but sure. It was a good game, though.
Yes, it was.
CC of the Year, KZO. Thought it was going to be a VTuber and thought people were going to give Pecora more shit, but people are just giving KZO shit, and considering what I've heard about the dude, considering that most people like just the whole thing is he likes to get roasted and everything, that's probably just the audience.
It's just
Yep.
Yeah, he just every time with every roast he grows stronger.
Yeah.
Queso's just a good dude. He takes all the roasts in stride.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
He gets announced as CC of the Year, and they just go, "Oh man, good on you, man. Like, good job." It's like, stop being nice to me.
And he's literally the biggest person there.
Yeah. And besides, Queso was roasted for being a 1x1 Lego piece.
Oh, a Lego piece won the content creator.
Yeah.
Good for Lego.
Best ongoing game, Helldivers 2. No.
Did not expect it.
I genuinely thought this was gonna go to a game that had gone for either like since last year or for years on end. Not necessarily a game that came out this year. No disrespect to it. I just like, hey, if you go for an ongoing game nomination and put Helldivers 2 next year, absolutely vote for it. But this year, I don't know.
Yeah, it just feels weird.
Yeah, it feels a little too quick to the draw. Best adaptation, Fallout. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can vouch.
Yeah, we could have won.
Yeah.
We could have gotten Arcane, but you know what? Fallout, whatever. It happened.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Mm.
Best score in music, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Love the soundtrack, honestly,
No.
to Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm happy.
Best indie game, best mobile game, both go to Balatro.
Of course.
Hearts.
Best audio design, Hellblade 2. Don't know why the fuck that won over like stuff like Silent Hill.
don't know either.
We try not to think about it.
I didn't
Players-
know there
Yeah.
was a Hellblade 2 until this Game Awards.
Player's voice, Black Myth Wukong. I voted
Deserved.
for Genshin Impact out of pity. Because I thought if it would win, they would get a fraction of a fucking poll.
And
But-
it's still fucked up.
But here's the thing too. Neither Genshin, nor Wuthering Waves, nor Zenless Zone Zero actually got it. So at this point, Genshin is kind of old news at this point.
Yeah.
But seriously, go
Wukong
monkey go.
stands- Wukong stands proud above all the gotchas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, kind of deserves it.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
deserves it for being monkey.
Best narrative, Metaphor Refantasio.
Deserved.
And,
Very much deserved.
Yeah, and there was also some other events too. Like, for instance, we got the Muppets.
They were the best
Representing
part
all
the
of us.
Game Awards.
That's
Yeah,
just
representing
it's just
all of us.
firing at the hip with the shots, man.
Yes,
You're just like,
represented
"Did
all
you
of
hear-
us watching this.
did you hear
Shit,
Jeff? Did you hear
they're taking all our
Jeff?
jokes.
Did you hear Jeff is friends with Kojima? Oh my god! Does Kojima know?
Oh,
And Kojima just like, oh, the look. I can't actually tell if he could tell that they're throwing shots at him, or it's just like, wait, I'm friends with Jeff. Yeah, they were pleasant. They were definitely a pleasant entertainment over the night. Also, Todd Howard is short.
and with how long the Game Awards went, he kept getting shorter.
Shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking nematode scene from SpongeBob. By the end of the night, he's just microscopic. But okay. Harrison Ford also showed up. Like, dude is how old and he's still looking good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, we had Arcane Performance as well as Snoop Dogg.
Yep. Arcane Performance. We had Civilization 7 Performance. We had Amir Sadvat, sorry if I'm butchering your name, and Helping Game Devs, which I was, taking shots at it over the night, but genuinely after listening to it and looking into it, I'm thinking like, you know what? I think this is actually legit. I think this is actually a guy who's founded a foundation that actually is trying to help game devs. And I think, for all intents and purposes, if this is genuine, like 100% authentic and everything, and it's not the PR bullshit of like, well, we consider game devs to be like our family or anything like that. Kudos.
God, please don't.
Kudos. Honestly, if this is genuine and this dude is actually like has a love for not just video games but the people making it and trying to make a healthy environment for them, kudos. Honestly, this industry needs it. Speaking of, shit-stained Gearbox founder in Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also gonna be real. Borderlands has lost my interest since 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and the live-action movie did nothing to help that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, was a great idea for our siren that looks like she's in her 20s. Hire somebody in her 60s.
Hey, Roland, I want to say 6'2" commando and leader of the Crimson Raiders, Kevin Hart.
Hey, like Tiny Tina, the girl who's just a walking, talking meme voiced by Ashley Birch. Yeah, let's make her a drama queen and melodramatic and just an emo kid.
God, I haven't seen the movie.
Also, Jack Black is there for some reason.
Sure. Squid Game had this whole big announcement. Netflix game, again, don't care what the catalog is. Don't give a fuck about Netflix.
Turns out it's not actually a Netflix game, but it's actually happening.
It's actually real. They hijacked the Game Awards to turn to Squid Game. Yeah, and Snoop Dogg came up with his own performance and whatnot, and apparently I think he said that he's also looking into actually making video games himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
Said him and his son were making a studio together.
yeah, that's I want to see what that is definitely like. But yeah, the whole the medley of the past Snoop Dogg songs as a live performance, genuinely one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And
Very
then
nice.
I think we were talking over this, but the Larian Studios founder came to announce the game of the year, and I remember because I was calling it out because he was making a joke where it's just like, I know what game of the year is gonna win. It's the game that got nominated to be in the Game Awards. I'm just like, whoa, really? Fucking shocker. I did not realize, upon looking back, that he inadvertently actually called out a number of like AAA game industries and their behaviors for how they have been treating like sort of the people and everything. Next to that, he shows up wearing a ceasefire pin. He talks about the art and the magic of games comes from the creators and the devs. He denounces the games made for quotas and in boardrooms, takes a shot at the Game Awards about giving proper airtime to creative, and doesn't name drop any celebs. Like this, there was a post that went out about that, and it's just like, you know what, 100%, like, dude has my respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on him. I mean, to be fair, we were. You were right. To be fair, we were just poking fun and talking shit. But no, this.
Yeah. I think.
And of course.
Game of the Year won by Astrobot, which again, I think we were definitely talking over whatnot, but from looking back at it, I mean, even though, yeah, we've made the jokes, we made the shots, haha, guess what, Nintendo, you've met your match, and its name is Astrobot, and everything, we've met that, but they gave credit where it's due, and they said, look, I mean, we've had inspiration from stuff like Nintendo and Mario and everything, and we have nothing but love and respect for the people who make those games so much, and this is just, Astrobot is just our labor of love, not just for PlayStation, but for those kinds of games that we grew up with and everything. I'm just like, you know what? Kudos. I love that kind of mentality. I love that kind of idea to go off of. It wasn't because, yeah, like me and the rest of the internet were spitballing. It just seeing this as a whole, like, haha, like, Nintendo, your time in the sun is finally up. You've met your match and everything. But the fact that this game, unlike that which should not be named, was made out of a labor of love, despite them being a labor of love in competition, still being a labor of love, I think is commendable.
Yeah. Kind of agree with you.
Okay. Yeah. That is all that happened last night. I know very much, not last night, but that has happened at the Game Awards. I know very much our attention was absolutely on the announcements, but there was so much that came out, and it's just like, there's a lot that we had to talk about. And let's be real here too. The awards are the least interesting part of the actual show.
Yeah. Like the Two Muppets said, it's a bunch of advertisements with award interruptions.
Yep, it absolutely is. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to play, like, alright, who do you think is gonna win this award game? But, for the most part, we tune in just to see, hey, what new games are there? What new events are happening? Like, okay, 2022? Yeah, we had Hades 2. We even got, like, a Hellboy announcement and whatnot. Rocket League came out with a Lo-Fi Girl collab. That was stuff like that was cool. 2023. We had stuff like Guilty Gear Strive coming out with a new season and some new modes and some new fun modes and everything. Like, there was some great announcements that were coming out in regards to that, and also stuff like Rocket Racing as well. And now in 2024, we have Tekken 8 with a Final Fantasy collab. We have Onimusha and Okami coming back. Like, yeah. And that's just like 3 examples as well.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I would say, I don't know what next year or the year after is gonna hold. Because, yeah, 2025 is looking a big year for games, but I feel like regarding some of the best titles, they're gonna be probably after. Probably not necessarily in 2025 or so, but I will definitely, much like this year, tune in for the announcements. But I think that, and this is just a theory, every other Game Award is better than the last one. It's the odd ones where it's just like, it's an iffy one.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, is it any, like, I really don't think it's a coincidence that 2 years before this, 2 years before this, we got announced for, like, Hades 2. And then this year, we get some games announced like Onimusha and Okami. And they're coming in, and Onimusha at least is coming in 2026. But yeah.
God, I'm still reeling over all that. Onimusha, Okami, and we've got Clive coming into Tekken 8.
Yep.
It's just a great year to be a gamer.
Yeah. But yeah, I think on that note, I think we are good to call it, honestly.
Yeah.
It is honestly, we started this around 7 or so. We've been going on for about we've been going on for about 3 hours now. So if you guys wanted to plug anything in particular, feel free to do so now.
Nope.
I will say, if with Capcom with this whole Onimusha and Okami thing, if you don't do anything with Mega Man at this point, I will pull a tear of grace. Thank you for taunting, teasing, but not actually delivering. You boo-balling fucking whore!
Just a fucking cunts! Look at his fucking fish eyes! Looks like a fucking bullfrog! Okay. But yeah.
Blaze Endless Zone Zero when the update comes out, and yeah, just also Honkai Star Rail.
Well, you've already said it before, but yeah, Tekken 8 on sale. Go get it while you can.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And in the meantime, I'm gonna keep my eyes out absolutely for Onimusha. Anybody who's interested, I would recommend reading Solo Leveling, and so on and so forth. And also, I'm gonna keep an eye on some other games as well, much like the Sega racing game. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I have BlueSky now, I have Cara, I've got a portfolio on Artstation. You can check out more of the podcast here on my YouTube. If you want to see me and the rest of the people here just sort of in chat, just kind of streaming games and whatnot, twitch.tv/CafeAutumn. Support me financially at ko-fi.com/theArtstation. And if there's a particular game you want me to play, you can do that too. Other than that, that's gonna be doing it. So from all of us here at Cafe Autumn, thank you all so much for joining us at the Autumn Colors podcast, and we'll see you all next time when we talk about something new or something relevant or whatever. I don't know. We talk about whatever the fuck we can. But anyway,
We do what we want.
whatever. I do what I will. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. So thank you all so much for joining us, and all of you take care. Peace.
Take care.
Peace.
See ya.
That list still this list is still going, by the way.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? I'm just like, God, that was a hell of a show.
Holy shit.
And that's not, like, it's... There's like 2 pages worthy of topics here.
To look for another